is a dog. Where is she?
Stop calling her a dog.
Hey, don't. You're not her advocate.
Just don't call her that.
Guys, settle down.
Who unleashed you?
Andrei, nobody can never listen to you. You're so disrespectful.
To whom?
To everybody around you. Everybody around you.
To Loren, you were disrespectful.
Like you're hitting like that you want to divorce her?
What? You want to divorce me?
For two people who claim not to stir the pot, Andrei and Elizabeth sure do like to mess up other people's marriages, don't they? This time, it's Yara and Jovi who are in their sights. So let's rewind to the start and pick up with the Miami crew on the last day of filming for the tell-all, where Yara and Jovi have just been asked if they plan on having any more kids.
Mila wants to have a sibling. She see like other kids having sister and brother, and she wanted. And I think about that. Like, why not?
I mean, she recently told me a little bit of this, that she was going to consider.
So Yara and Jovi have been going back and forth about having another child for a while now. Jovi wants one, but Yara doesn't want to do it alone again. And while she is now maybe perhaps considering it, it's by no means a definite, unless, that is, Jovi were to give up his job working on the oil rigs and be back home all the time to help her out. So is that a possibility? Is he willing to leave his very lucrative job?
I would be, but I'm not going to prematurely make that decision if she's maybe lying to me, right? I don't feel like you want to have another kid at all.
Well, definitely not with you if you're acting like this.
Yeah, it's pretty clear they're not on the same page about this pretty massive step. Still, it's at this point that Sean diverts the topic of conversation back to their couple's trip. In fact, back to the point where Jovi made fun of Yara's old photos. I mean, even now, as they watch those old clips back, you can see that it really hits a nerve for Yara. That stems from long-time childhood trauma, she tells us.
My whole family used to comment on my body, on my face, on my hair, on my nose, on everything.
Now, she has been going to therapy for a long time to work on this, but it clearly still haunts her. So the fact that Jovi, who is her family now, did exactly the same thing really cut her deep. And while Yara keeps on repeating, almost excusing Jovi and saying she needs to develop a thicker skin and move past it, as the others all point out, Jovi also needs to take responsibility. He needs to avoid poking at what's clearly a sore point for her. Like, what he does isn't right, and they even go as far as to question whether or not Jovi realises how lucky he is to have Yara, since they all claim she's way out of his league.
I mean, I think she's one of the most beautiful women I've ever been around.
Oh.
I'm not going to argue that.
You mean the most beautiful one?
One of.
Not one of.
Now, Yara says that Jovi never gets insecure himself because he was a pageant baby. It's hard for him to understand what I go through, she says, but at least he's trying to. Now, the conversation then turns to Elizabeth and Andrei. You see, they also have some major unresolved issues, not least of which is whether or not they're going to move to Moldova. Turns out, shock horror, that Andrei refuses to take Elizabeth's no as being final.
At this point, I told him, if you want to go, go. I'm not going.
In this relationship, I'm wearing the pants, if you haven't noticed.
Okay, go wear them in Moldova.
Well,
Good luck with that, Andrei. Let me know how that works out for you when you end up getting divorced. I mean, just because this guy wears the pants in the relationship, which I think we can all agree he does, that doesn't mean that he can bulldoze her or bully his wife into doing something that she absolutely doesn't want to do. Now, of course, we do have to acknowledge, since this tell-all was filmed, news broke last week that sadly Elizabeth's dad, Chuck, passed away. I don't know whether or not that might change anything for Elizabeth regarding moving to Moldova, because as we saw, Chuck always had her back, and more than that, Chuck was someone that Andrei would listen to. So now that he's sadly passed and he's no longer there, does that or could that perhaps make it more likely that Andrei will now get his way? That's something we'll have to wait and see, I guess. But, as ever, Andrei refuses to listen to anyone else, like he's very pig-headed. Like when Guillermo tries to point out to him that he can't force Elizabeth to do anything, Andrei's rude response is...
hey, like you're giving me advice, you're just getting divorced right now. Dude, like, come on.
Yeah, I mean, it's rude, it's pig-headed, and it's just Andrei to a T, isn't it? But just check Elizabeth's reaction to that. Her face speaks volumes, doesn't it? I think she's embarrassed, and I think she's also genuinely worried about what might happen. Still, as far as Andrei and being rude is concerned, oh boy, you ain't seen nothing yet. You see, when Sean announces that they're now going to be bringing Loren's friend Noga to the stage, listen to Andrei's reaction.
Where is the dog? Where is she?
Stop calling her a dog.
Hey, don't you're not her advocate.
Just don't call her that.
Guys, settle down.
Look, I don't care what their history is, right? And we all know they don't get along. They had the clash at Loren's housewarming party. Right, sure. Be that what it may. But you do not, unprompted, she's not even there to defend herself, insult a woman like that. Sorry, you don't. That's absolutely trash behaviour from Andrei. And Alexei absolutely did the right thing calling him out on that. But sadly, predictably, it has zero impact on Andrei. You see, as soon as Noga actually comes onto the stage, he gets even worse.
Okay, you have 2 minutes, man.
Are you the host now? I'm sorry.
I just don't want to see her.
Then look away.
Andrei, everybody, please.
He really is a bully, isn't he? Trying to dictate his will on everyone. Now, it should hardly come as a surprise to anyone, especially after that welcome, but Noga stands by what she said about Andrei at the housewarming party. Like, she admits, yeah, I didn't handle things the right way. I am a bit ashamed of how I said things and getting so angry. But ultimately, everything I said was correct. Andrei is a brute, she says, and I'm paraphrasing there, but that's essentially her message. He has no respect for anyone. But of course, Andrei denies that. He feels that everything he said that night was valid.
Alex said that he's bringing in the income, and you
I said
flipped
that
the
she
switch
bringing in the income
and the
too.
command of
It's
your
like talking to a wall with you.
Andrei remains adamant that a man should always have more of a say within a household, and he believes that Noga is just following Loren's quote-unquote commands.
A command? A command?
I mean, honestly, at this point, I'm running out of words to use to describe this guy. He's a chauvinist, he's stuck in the 1950s, and frankly, he's a walking red flag. Despite practically everyone on stage imploring him just to say sorry and put this behind him and move on, Andrei point blank refuses. And ultimately, it's left to Kara to say what we're all thinking. Like, Elizabeth, how on earth do you put up with this?
I don't know if everyone's just desensitized to how Andrei talks down to people. I don't know if Elizabeth, because you're with him all the time, that you're like, this is the normal. It is rough.
Now, up until this point, Elizabeth has been pretty quiet. No doubt it's her that's under strict commands from Andrei, ironically. Keep in mind, after that whole incident between Noga and Andrei, at the time, she was quite vocal, but never to Noga's face, about the fact that she didn't like how Noga spoke to Andrei that night. Like, she was defending her husband. But the million-dollar question is she finally today beginning to see what everyone else sees? Does she finally realise that it's Andrei that's in the wrong, and she'd also be wrong if she continued to stand up for him? Well, yes and no. She acknowledges it for a split second and then walks off.
Kara has valid points. And I'm over it. All right.
Where are you living?
I think I'm having an anxiety attack.
Now, any normal guy hearing that his wife is having an anxiety attack might want to get up and check that she's okay. But not Andrei. No. He sends Julia to do that instead. I mean, he's too focused on fighting with everyone to care about his wife's well-being. Now, Noga says that she's willing to speak to him like adults if they both tone it down a notch or two. But for the life of him, Andrei can't seem to do that.
Who unleashed you?
Andrei, nobody can never listen to you. You're so disrespectful.
To whom?
To everybody around you. Everybody around you.
To Loren, you were disrespectful.
Yeah, and as that is going on, just as you think Elizabeth might have finally realised that the way Andrei speaks to people isn't okay, she once again proves that she's as stubborn as he is. She tells the camera crew that she didn't want to abandon her husband, she was just too worked up, she needed a minute, and she then proceeds to go back on stage, all guns blazing, in defence of Andrei.
Where's your apology?
Where do you get the audacity to say how he's this, how he's that? What the kind of behavior is that for a woman?
We want an apology. Let's go.
Yeah, I'm sorry, but by demanding an apology in that fashion, you can guarantee you're not gonna get one. Noga again reiterates her stance. She says, while I'm not proud of how I expressed myself, I stand by everything I said. And with that, with tempers at a high and with it being very clear that they're not going to get a resolution to this, shortly after, Sean bids goodbye to Noga and they all take a short break. But Loren is livid at the way that Noga was just treated.
Disgusting people.
Babe.
They're both horrible people.
Yes, they're toxic. Around anybody they see, they toxic. They make toxicity everywhere they go.
Now, Loren and Alexei go and check on Noga, but they don't have too much time to decompress before they're all asked to head back on stage. And once back, the topic of conversation turns to Andrei and his disastrous investment in Moldova. You know, the $75,000 that he invested and lost, but didn't think to tell his wife about. So, what's the latest with that, Andrei? He gets asked.
My house is still there. We removed like the basement, and I'm gonna make a ton of money. So it's still good. You know, like Andrei fixed it.
But did you fix this?
Oh, what's this I see? Is Elizabeth finally standing up to him? Now, of course, Andrei still doesn't get it. He doesn't understand that the biggest issue was that he hid the problem from Elizabeth and told others, including the guys, before he thought to tell his own wife. He just can't see why that's a problem. Now, Jovi, who of course was one of the people that found out before Elizabeth, calls Andrei out for lying to Elizabeth. But Andrei turns it around on Jovi. Who are you to have a go at me for lying, he says. You lied to your wife too, he says. And then, by way of example, he drops a bombshell.
Like you're hiding like that you wanna divorce her?
What? You want to divorce me?
Yeah, Andrei and Elizabeth say that they don't like to cause trouble. They keep accusing others of stirring the pot. And yet, here they are again, messing with another relationship. Whether that's true or not, and we're going to come back to that in a second, but Elizabeth and Andrei are the bigger shit stirrers of the lot. Fact. What right did Andrei have to bring that up? Now, don't get me wrong, Jovi should definitely have known better than to confide in Andrei, but the way he just dropped that in front of everyone as a way of retaliating against Jovi was bang out of order. So, is what he said true? Does Jovi want to get divorced?
You want to divorce me?
What, is not that true?
What the
Because you call me all the time when you're drunk and you're telling me you wanna divorce your wife?
You don't need to be a body language expert to see that Jovi's face screams guilty. Like, while Jovi is busy looking uncomfortable and giving Andrei the death stare, poor Yara seems absolutely blindsided by this news. Her husband, the guy that only minutes ago she was talking about the prospect of having another child with, has been telling Andrei, of all people, that he wants out of their marriage. Now, Jovi does finally find his voice, and he explains that there were 1 or 2 times where he was out drinking and he was drunk. Shock horror, surprise, surprise, Jovi drunk, can you imagine? And during these occasions, he apparently called Andrei and vented. He shared with Andrei that he resented his wife for making them move away from his family to Miami. Yeah, he admits, during those conversations, I did bring up the topic of divorce. Now, Elizabeth doesn't buy that that's as far as it went. In fact, she accuses him of actually going as far as to see a divorce attorney, but Jovi denies this. So, whether true or not, how does poor Yara feel having just been blindsided like that?
I don't want to cry now again, but he's gonna divorce me. It's scary.
Okay,
Yeah, this has just come completely out of left field for everyone. That was not a bombshell anyone expected to be dropped today. I've got to confess, I didn't realise that things were this bad between them. But as filming wraps up and both of them leave the stage, they both admit that things between them haven't been good for a while. They have, it transpires, talked between themselves about divorce too. And that prospect terrifies Yara.
If he had divorced me, like, I'm gonna lose the only friend, like my best friend, my partner, and everything I have.
It It's a sad situation, and while Jovi admits that he shouldn't have talked to Andrei about it, he also doesn't believe that it should have come as such a massive shock to Yara. This is, he maintains, something that we have talked about before. Now, back at the house when we join them next at dinner, Yara confides in Jasmine about just how bad things have got between her and her husband.
We want different things. How could we be happy together?
Yeah, he was saying like he wants to go back to Luciana, that he wants a baby.
It's not just him.
Yeah, we do both have issues, Yara admits. Like, we're living separate lives and we're so detached at the moment that unless we can fix this gap that's grown between us, divorce feels inevitable. But, she says, I do want to fix it. I want to fix it not just for the sake of our daughter, but also because I love Jovi. I want to be with him more than anything.
Because he's more than just my partner. He's my support system. He's
Absolutely.
I have a business because of him, because he supported me. He made me believe in myself.
Yara just can't imagine life without her best friend and partner, Jovi. And as they leave the house later on that evening, both admit that there is a lot that they need to work on, but insist that they will fight for their marriage. Like, hopefully it works out for them. Now, as for Loren, she's officially done with her friendship with Elizabeth. As she and Alexei are in their bedroom packing to leave, she admits she never again ever wants to even see Elizabeth again.
The truth is, I got the closure that I finally needed.
Which was?
Her, him, I don't need him in my life. I don't need it.
Loren and Alexei are just happy to be done with filming for now. They're happy to go back to normal life. But, as we all know, production has a habit of casting them season after season, so I suspect it won't be too long before we see them back on our screens. But, as for Andrei and Elizabeth, well, if rumours are to be believed, we might not be seeing them back on our screens. There's been rumours flying around, unsubstantiated as far as I can tell, but rumours that they may have been fired because of their behaviour on this tell-all. Still, whether that is indeed true or not, as the pair of them prepare to leave the house, it's pretty clear that they still have no idea whatsoever what their future holds. Each of them have very different plans, it seems.
I think Moldova is the plan.
Thought I made myself clear.
Happy husband, happy marriage.
Okay, go be alone in Moldova. Go.
Clearly, Andrei's aim is to continue bullying his wife until he brings that to fruition. Let's just wait and see whether or not, or for how long, Elizabeth can hold her ground. So as the tell-all in the season wraps up, what's abundantly clear is that none of these former friends are going to be friends anymore. But more importantly than their fake friendships, I just hope all the fallout from this season hasn't created such major issues that it impacts their real life marriages and their families. But sadly, something tells me it may have.